calm down. I am calm. Leo, I don't care for your demeanor. Demeanor? Oh, now you're just being difficult. What are you writing?
So you really don't want to use a Sharpie, kid. That's not the way to go.
No, but a new thing that's happening right now is an eyebrow transplant, which has become increasingly popular. You see these major stars that really like this. They say it improves the shape and the thickness of their over-plucked eyebrows.
No, I see. Oh, that's Chrissy Teigen on the left there. Yeah. Let's Chrissy Teigen. Hi, Doc. I'm going to introduce him in just a second. I saw Megan Good in there. Dr. Phil's wife, Robin, she's done it.
Yeah.
Hi, Dr. Stephen Davis.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, good. Nice to see you both.
I kind of like this the more I learn about it. It's not that invasive. You're just plucking some follicles out of the back of your head, like your neck.
As plastic surgeons, we're always doing things like refining techniques that we've had, and we're using them like to meet today's trends and cosmetic procedures. And one of the ones happens to be using this as like a way of doing a hair transplant, but in a real elegant fashion around the brows.
So is this it right here, before and after?
Yeah.
So the before's on top and the after's underneath.
Correct.
And there's no eyebrow pencil. That's really just the after
really
what it
hair.
looks like. So that actually looks really natural. It's not like it's over the top too crazy. So what are you doing?
So what's happening is so many people have gotten microbladed or tattooed there, and it's not really a three-dimensional look.
No.
So people want to have like real hairs there. And again, in the 90s, the trend was real pencil fine, thin brows. And now if you overpluck that, or if you overdid any kind of tweezing, you lost a lot of those hairs.
This is a better example.
Yeah.
So this is a man, and what you're looking at is on the eyebrow right of some injury, a scar, whatever happened to his right eyebrow, and then you filled it in. That looks fabulous because it evens it out.
That's exactly right. And that's really the concept behind it, is that we're trying to, go with where they want their hairs to be, the look they're trying to go for. So even when we're doing it, we actually have them help us.
So you're taking hairs off your neck, the back of your head.
Right, and you go for hairs that are more like where you're trying to put them. So again, the concept that we're borrowing is they retain their donor memory.
So their hair color.
Not only that, but those hairs think they're still growing from where you took it. So although you may be taking it from the back of the neck, we're putting it here, and they continue to grow like they're growing back there. So you have to place them properly, and you may have to do a little bit more maintenance because they're going to grow like they're growing from your head.
Yeah, that's interesting. It looks like really delicate work.
It
must take a long time.
It does take a long time. So that's really the whole thing. Usually somewhere between, let's say, 250 to maybe 600 hairs per eyebrow, depending on how much tweezing or how much trauma has been done to that area. And again, tattooing and microblading sometimes creates some scar tissue there. So the actual procedure of like transplanting it may take a little bit more time because there's already some scar there.
Yeah, tattooed brows look like tattooed brows.
Well, no, I've had microblading, so full disclosure, which only lasts about a year, and I know a lot of women have. So that's that procedure. So we're just showing how that varies differently. But I didn't realize that procedure in itself could create some trauma. So what's happening with microblading that makes this different?
That's a really great picture. What's happening is they're creating little tiny scars or little tiny etches in the skin and then painting them. So it's giving the appearance that they're individual hairs, but in reality it's just paint, it's just a tattoo.
Transplant's the way to go then.
Well, that's the thing. I guess you can really fill in very nicely with this, especially if you have your own hair. This works terrific.
It looks pretty good, but it doesn't last. It's not permanent. It only lasts about
a year or so for microblading. Right. And it can bleed. The color can change or fade a little bit over time. So those are the things that we've seen where patients have said, they like the way it looked initially, and then it starts to fade or go away.
This take days to do?
No, it's actually done within a couple of hours, and the recovery is about a day or so. The problem is you just have to be really, really delicate about taking care of it afterwards. So for the first 5 days or so, you really don't want to get it wet. You're not trying to rub it real hard or anything like that. And there will be little scabs, just like when we were doing a hair transplant.
How much would it cost about?
Somewhere between, I'd say, $3,000 to $5,000. I really do think, because it's
a reasonable amount of money when you're involved with that kind of surgery.
But it's a permanent thing. It really is. It's permanent hair. So
it's obviously pricey. I do think that's fascinating. Thank you. That's
great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Always.